Good morning. I do apologize for the mess. I'm currently in the process of moving. Um, I have not been on Facebook or YouTube or basically any social media platforms in a while now. But I've been under some major attack this morning, and I'm just now coming to the realization of why. Um, So God has allowed me to come on and hopefully motivate people through what it is that the things that I have to say or what have you. Um, my best friend in high school was a girl named Letitia, and when I haven't I haven't spoke to her in a few years or what have you because I have started on a different journey in life from everybody else. But when you leave people, it doesn't mean that you don't love them or that you don't care for them. It just means that in life you have decided to go two different ways. Um, in high school, I was teased and I was talked about, and a lot of people uh, disliked me. I was always the black sheep. I didn't have really any friends. Um, I used to do things to try to make myself fit in or try to make people like me, and it always backfired. It never really worked, but it was two girls, Letitia and Keela, and these two girls, they were like me. They were different, like me, and they were my friends. But nobody else was my friends. We were our own little three musketeers, or what have you. Um, I just received a phone call um, telling me that Letitia was killed in a domestic violence homicide. And it it reaches my heart because I've kept quiet so long about the things that I've been through. I kept quiet about my domestic abuse, and I brushed it under the rug because I was always told that those are things that you don't share with the world. 2 years ago, I decided to leave my husband, the guy I had been with for off and on for 17 years, because of domestic violence. It got to the point where I felt the only way out was that either he was going to kill me or I was going to kill him. I have two little girls that did not deserve to see that. He did not deserve to live in the midst of that. He did not deserve to see hatred And people pass it off as if it was really love, and it really wasn't. I shut myself off from the world and from people and from family and from friends because I didn't want to be judged. I didn't want people to look at me like I was weak. I didn't want people to look down on me. My friends or associates that I had tell me to fight it out. That's what you do now, you know. I didn't want to feel like I breached my loyalty. Like, I really struggled internally with making a decision whether or not I was going to stay in what I was used to, or whether or not I was going to step out on faith in something that I knew nothing about. And I never expected to be a single mother raising 2 children. But if I had to do it all over again, I would not change it. My friend is dead because I did not speak up. Because I could have shared with her my story, and it might have made a difference. If I would have opened up, who knows? If somebody sees that they're not alone in something, then it's easy to come out of it. It's easy to make a change. It's easy to want something different. But it's not easy to get there, especially when you feel that you are alone in a situation and nobody will take the time to understand. When you're a woman going through domestic violence, it is hard because people don't see it, because you hid it so well, because you covered it up so much. That people feel like you're so strong when you're so weak. They feel like you got it when you really don't. But because we dealt with it so much, we make it look good. We make it look good and we keep on fighting because it's all we know how to do. It's all we have learned how to do is fight. Just keep fighting, keep fighting, keep fighting. No, we don't have to keep fighting. We don't. We don't have to let anybody fight us. We don't. We're better than that. God created us better than that. Love don't hurt. People hurt people. Hurt people hurt people. Love does not hurt us. God is love. God does not hurt us. We hurt each other. He said we fight not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and the workers of the darkness. So in order for a person to hurt you, they have to be hurt. They have to have something in the inside of them that is hurting them, that they have not healed from, that they cannot see. They cannot see past the hurt. They hurt so much that they want everybody around them to hurt too. No. Get up. Take a stand and stop. You don't have to let people hurt you. You don't have to let men hit you. You don't have to let women hit you. You don't have to do that. You can say no. You can leave. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it is. After 17 years, I decided to leave. And I will never look back. For me and for my children, I took a stand. No, you will not hit me. I am not your punching bag. I am not the problem. I'm the solution, not the problem. I'm your helpmeet, not your hindrance. I just want to say rest in heaven to my friend. And I hope that somebody, anybody, listen to this message and realize that if you're going through domestic violence of any kind, you're not alone. You're not. The police would not listen to me. The judge would not listen to me. Nobody would help me. But I still found a way out because I wanted it so bad. After 17 years of being in a domestic violence relationship with someone, I finally found a way out. And I'm finally finding the courage to talk about it. You don't have to stay. It's hard to leave. But it's better if you do. Me and my children slept in my truck with my husband trying to take my kids. He was in court for 3 years. Him trying to take my children from me because I did not have a place to go. But I did not give up. And I did not go back. I didn't have anything. Half of the time, the only thing I had was my faith in God. But we made it. We made it. And I just want all of you women and men dealing with this to know it does not have to end in death. It does not have to end in hatred. I love my husband so much. But I love me more. I love God more than me. I love me. I love God. Yes, I love my husband, ex-husband. I love him. But I love him so much that I have to give him to God. The only thing I can do is pray for him because I cannot help him. I cannot be there for him and help him. But I had to realize that as long as I stayed, it was because I loved him more than I loved myself. And when I realized that, and I had to go find me, I wanted to love me again. I wanted to see me again. And I allowed a person to take that from me. But once I found it, nobody could take that away. The love that I have for myself now, nobody could take that away. How much I care about me now, nobody can dim that. Nobody can change that. Nobody can tarnish that. It's mine. I love me so much that even on my worst days, I still am beautiful. Even if people, anyone, no one ever realizes it or ever tells me, I know. And it's something I did not have. And as long as I stay with my husband, I realized I will never have that type of love for myself. I was worth more to him broken. I was worth more to him destroyed. I was worth more to a person if I didn't know my own worth. But when I began to realize the worth that God has placed down on the inside of me, I told God to have his way. And when he had his way, he had his way. And he stripped every bad thing away. Every bad person, he took them away. I don't have to deal with them. I have to love them and I have to pray for them. But I don't have to deal with them. So with no money and all the odds against me, no house, no car, God has granted me full custody of my children. They still would not acknowledge the fact that he was abusive. But God fixed it to where they didn't even have to. The judge closed the case without us even having to go back to court. I just pray that this word or message would encourage someone. You're not alone by any means necessary. So don't ever think you are. There's always somebody that's going through something, maybe even worse. But don't be quiet either. Don't think that because you go through something that you don't supposed to share it with people. Because you have no idea if you only open your mouth, you could have saved someone. And you don't want it on your conscience to know what if. That's the worst feeling in the world. But I thank God because nothing happens by accident. So here I am, finally decided to take a stand against domestic violence. Growing up as a minister's children in the church, I was ashamed. But I'm no longer ashamed. It's not right. And we don't have to do anything to deserve it. It still happens. But we can stop it. You can take a stand and say enough is enough. You can stand up for those around you that don't have the courage to stand up for themselves. It's been plenty of times I couldn't stand up for myself and nobody was there to help me. But I'm no longer ashamed and I'm no longer afraid of what people think about me. Wrong is wrong. And what they do to us was wrong. Domestic violence is wrong. And it's being covered up every day. It's being looked over every day. It became a new normal and it's wrong. It's not normal to hit your spouse. That's wrong. It's not normal to control them. That's wrong. That's not normal. It's hatred. It's wrong. My daughter mentioned to me this morning that I have been doing a lot of calling people out on things. And I'm beginning to understand why. Because I allowed a lot of things to go on and to happen to me. And I didn't speak up. I allowed people to abuse me and mistreat me. And I did not speak up for myself. I just allowed it to happen. And now I finally found the courage to speak up. And I don't want anybody to shut me up. I want to speak up and I want to speak as loud as I can. That it is wrong. And that we as women have to be strong. Even men that has been that's been dealing with domestic abuse. It's wrong for women to beat you. It is wrong for men to beat you. Don't just think it's a sexist crime because it's not. You have women abusers just as you have men. It's wrong. But it will continue to happen. You know why? Because they have figured out a way to shut us up, to make us weak, so that we're too afraid to stand up for ourselves or say anything to get any help for anybody else to stand up for us. And then when we do stand up for ourselves and we do go out to try to seek help, nobody wants to listen. I'm here and I'm listening. Don't be quiet. I will no longer be quiet about my abuse. I will no longer deal with this in silence. I will no longer stand aside and watch as people are being abused. As people sat by and watched as my husband abused me. And it wasn't because I was weak. And it wasn't because I wasn't strong enough to fight him off. And it wasn't because any of that. People say, well, I don't get it. If you could beat him up and if you could do all these things, why did you allow it to happen? It was because I did not love myself. And he showed me love. And I thought that this was the best love that I could get. But I had to realize that God's love is the best love I could get. If nobody else on the face of this earth chooses to love me, God loves me. I love me. If I remain single for the rest of my life, I love me. God loves me. Now I just want to make a difference. I just want to help people. I want to show people what love really is. I want to teach people that God is love. And God don't hate, nor do we hurt. Oh my God. Thank you so much. God is so good. It could have been me. It's supposed to have been me. It's supposed to have been dead. My husband dragged me down the street and left me unconscious in the middle of the street. I was not supposed to get up. When he ran me over with the lawnmower, I was not supposed to get up. And he pushed me down the steps. I lost my twins. I was not supposed to make it out, but I did. I made it. Nobody has to believe me. And I'm not saying these things for anybody to look at him like he's a horrible person. He's not. He's simply a hurt person that does not know how to handle all the hurt that he feels inside. And so he focuses that hurt and channels it into other people because he don't know any other way. But I ain't found a different way. I will not hurt people just because I was hurt. I will not damage people just because I was damaged. I will not hate people just because people hated me. I will love everyone because I serve a God who loves me and he cherishes me even when I least deserve it. I know I don't deserve the things God do for me. But I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. God is so good to me. Don't count them out, you guys. It doesn't matter what you're going through or how bad things may seem. If you take a stand, and not just any stand, stand with God. You can't go wrong. My grandmother used to tell me if you didn't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And I have found out that to be true. Because I didn't stand for something, I was easily accessible to the enemy. I didn't have any limits. I just wanted love. That was it. Didn't care how it came, why, where. I just wanted it for all the wrong reasons. But I didn't realize that I already had it. And I'll take the love of God over anybody. Thank you for listening. Y'all have a great evening. Help me help you save our future.